What's up everybody, welcome back to Voyage RC, Brian here. This video is going to be kind of the final look at my X6 Cube from XFactory RC. I'm going to take the time in this video to kind of go over all the aftermarket upgrade parts I put on the vehicle. I'm going to show them to you and kind of tell you how the install went and maybe show you some little features on them. Thanks for stopping by. Got the body and wing off, so let's dive on in. So just a little background information on the car for those of you who haven't seen my other videos. This car started life as a B4.1 World's car from Team Associated. I then bought the conversion kit for the X6 Cube from XFactory, converting it to the mid-motor that you see here. Starting off with some of the JConcepts pieces that I've put on the vehicle. First off, since it was a B4.1, not a B4.2, I had to upgrade to the hexes for the wheels. On the front, I went with the JConcepts front axle conversion, and then obviously the JConcepts hexes. Put the hexes in the rear as well. Those are pretty straightforward. They just kind of mount on with the one screw there that clamps them down. The front axles went on pretty easy. You just get the new front arm that has the inline bearings, and then the axle just goes on pretty easy. I didn't have any problems with that. Next JConcepts piece I did was the front hinge pin brace. Really like the way this looks. The blue is really dark. It's a really nice blue. It's got the chamfered edges, and it's also got that milled out centerpiece to kind of take some of the weight out of it. Mounted really easy. One thing I did want to mention is I did have the ST Racing Concepts aluminum front bulkhead, and you can see the factory Team Associated aluminum hinge pin brace there. The Team Associated hinge pin brace does use a smaller size screw to mount it, so I was unable to use the front bulkhead with the JConcepts piece, so I had to go back to the plastic bulkhead, which is fine. The JConcepts piece comes with a nice set of instructions to tell you how to drill it out and incorporate the bigger screws that come with the hinge pin brace, so that's fine by me. This hinge pin brace is a little nicer quality and I think it looks better, so I'd rather have that one on there. Not to mention this one was getting a little beat up. Anyways, the next piece I put on from JConcepts is, you can see the nice carbon fiber front shock tower. It's a really nice piece. It looks really good, and it does have some added tuning options. I don't know if I can get in there for you to see the extra holes there for mounting the turnbuckle on the front, the ball stud. It's got an inner and an outer set, 3 tall each, so it's got 6 mounting options for your ball stud there, which gives you that added tunability. For the next set of upgrades, I turned to Lunsford. I went with their titanium turnbuckle kit, the Punisher series. Lunsford has always done a top-notch job with their titanium. It's a little better grade than everyone else, and if you're looking for something that's going to stand the test of time, not bend or break on you, Lunsford's really the way to go. This is the Punisher kit for the B4, so it does include the front and rear turnbuckles. They look really nice, they go on really easy, and they are probably the strongest turnbuckles you can get, so you won't have to worry about breaking them. Also from Lunsford, I went with their quick tune shock mounts. It gives you the quick adjustability of your upper shock mounting locations. All you have to do is remove the nut on the back side, and then you can pop the whole assembly off and move it to a different hole if you want. Just makes it that much easier for you. And it is titanium, so it's nice and strong, nice and light. Again, that's the kit for the B4, so that's got the front and the rear. For the rear hub towers, I went with Avid RC and their carbon fiber rear hub tower. Not only does it look really cool because it is carbon fiber and it kind of matches the rest of the vehicle, brings that little bit of that carbon fiber back to the rear end of the vehicle, but it does have a lot of tuning options built into one. It's got both sets of holes, the upper and the lowers, without having to change the hub tower itself, so you can just make a quick adjustment on it without having to swap out the whole thing. You can see I do have the turnbuckle on the front side. I noticed that with the ball cups, that where I have the hole, if you're running the lower option, it does tend to bind on the hub itself, so I just flipped it to the front side. I'm not getting any binding issues having the turnbuckle at that angle, so it's not binding at all or anything, so it's working out pretty well. That's just one thing I did notice with that, is I had to put the ball stud on the other side to get it to operate properly. That might have some effect on the suspension in use, but shouldn't be too bad. You can see it has at a bit of an angle. It should be straight and mounted to the back side, but that's the Avid RC carbon fiber rear hub tower for the B4. It's got all 6 mounting options in one tower, and it looks really good. Next, I've got some ST JConcepts pieces in here. I've got the gunmetal colored servo mounts. Just a real slick looking piece. Just mounts up with the same hardware as the team associated servo mount, so just bolts right in. Nothing to it. They're nice and strong though, nice and sturdy. And also from ST JConcepts, I went with their aluminum steering rack. This piece I was really impressed with. All the hardware from taking apart the stock steering rack just mounts right up to this. I had no issues mounting it up. Everything lined up properly. Everything went together smoothly. You can see it does have the separate pieces for the servo saver. So that is an operational servo saver, but I just tightened it down as tight as I could to keep it nice and solid so I don't get any slop in it. It does have all the Ackerman adjustments like the stock piece, and it just went together really nice. It looks really nice. It's nice and solid, so it'll take any slop out of the steering system that you might have had with the stock piece. And just a couple other things I went with. I turned to RPM. I went with their blue ball cups, which look really nice, and RPM ball cups have always been nice and strong and less prone to popping off like the team associated ones. And then I also went with the RPM front bumper. It's a little wider than the stock piece, gets a little extra protection. You can see it juts out a little farther from the hinge pin brace, so it'll keep that nice aluminum piece from getting all banged up. And then from Calandra JConcepts, I got their red anodized 440 nuts. It's a 440 thread, but it uses a 3/16 hex driver instead of a 1/4 inch hex driver. So just a nice little added touch to add some color in there. I used it on various spots. I used it on the shocks. hub towers, front deck support, and I even put them on the back side of the JConcepts axles. Nice piece. The anodization does tend to rub off just from mounting them up a little bit. It's a thin anodization on it, but it looks good. I liked it. So that's pretty much it for the upgrades I put on this. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is the final look at the X6 Cube from XFactory RC. I am getting rid of this vehicle, so there won't be any running videos with it. Out here where I currently live, there's not an RC track that's close anyways. So until I get back to Arizona, my time is spent building kits and doing builds and stuff. I do have another build ready to go in the studio, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.